Howdy, howdy. Welcome on in to the pre-show before the free show. Mallory has been here. She has a lot smaller head than I do. And that's not saying...
Oh, wow.
That's not saying that she has, like, a small head. I just have...
Look who
dome.
decided to
I'm back.
grace us with her presence.
Yeah, I logged on.
Look who decided to take some time to wander on into the office to keep a job.
Oh, whatever.
Look
I
who
was down there working.
to make an appointment to be here at her employer.
So I was driving back from Houston on Friday.
Sorry, go ahead.
My goodness. I was driving back from Houston on Friday, and I realized I was like, oh, I can pull up the show real fast. So I pulled up the show and just listened to it. And I was in a bad part of 45, so, like, the service was pretty spotty. But you were like, yeah, that was our dearly departed Ashley Pickle. And I was like, I'm not dead. I'm just in Houston for 3 days.
You're not
doing
dead.
Work.
You're not dead.
I'm not dead. Period.
You're not dead.
That's the end of the statement.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
We're back at... you're not everybody.
Hi. I'm part of everybody. That is encompassing.
All right. Also, hello to... I don't know.
Me. You missed me.
The Pope.
Oh. Yeah.
Hello, Pope.
Hi, Pope.
If you're watching.
I'm sure.
Dope.
I'm sure he is.
Be excellent. He was just like, we had one viewer from Vatican City.
Yeah.
I've heard good things.
He was like, I heard the Catholics are back on top. I figured I should tune in.
Heard good things. All right. Yesterday was Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the pops, the popses.
Yeah.
The popses out there. And what'd you do for your father on Father's Day?
I texted him.
Rad.
LP doesn't like making a big deal out of stuff, so I've learned that, like, kind of leaving him alone and just texting him. He sent me back a Darth Vader gift that said, I am your father, so that was our exchange.
Okay.
It was on brand.
Great. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads. Father's Day, of course, I'm supposed to be able to sleep in. Did not happen. 7:15, Hank wanted to run in and wish me a happy birthday. Or not happy birthday, happy Father's Day.
That is coming up as well, too, though.
To let me know that they were going to go to the donut shop to get donuts for Dad.
Oh, good.
Which ended up being donuts for Hank.
Yes, as it should be.
Theoretically, there were donuts. A lot of people are walking over towards our end of the office. I don't like that.
I think they're all going to lunch.
Oh. Well, but Mike Craven just walked in, too. He's not a lunch guy.
He's
anyway,
not a lunch guy.
All that's to say...
He doesn't eat.
all that's to say, we had a low-key Father's Day. Went to the splash pad. That was rad.
Nice. Where is that around here?
There's one near our house.
Nice.
I can tell you where it was.
Okay.
I
didn't know if that's like if there's multiple or if there's like one DFW splash pad
that
like they all go to.
So that's the new hotness. The new hotness is we're not building community pools anymore because you got to lifeguard them and people drown in them. But splash pads don't need a lifeguard. So it's cheaper and safer. Anyway, all that's to say. My sons and my wife had some nice things for me, including a pair of socks, which I'm wearing right now.
Oh, nice.
It says number one dad on them.
Dad socks.
Let's see.
Come on, lift them up. There you go.
On.
Dad socks.
Number one dad socks. But then I also got some handkerchiefs for my mom, and
Craven had some sweet kicks on right
I
now.
got some arts and crafts. My wife printed out a sheet of paper with a bunch of questions to ask Hank about me to get his response on it. And so let's go to the tape. Let's go to the tape here. So there's my picture up there in the top left, as you can see.
It looks just like it.
It does look just like me. My daddy's name is Greg. All right, we're 1 for 1.
1 for 1. Good job, Hank.
He is 35 years old. He knows this. And he likes to bring it up a lot because he's very into reading speed limit signs right now.
So he knows.
So we're driving around. He's like, Daddy, that's your age. I'm like, yes, it is.
Which is funny because when they first find out your age, they'll always think that you're that age. Like when you turn 36 in a couple of days,
I'll be 35
you'll be
forever.
35. It sticks with them.
I'll take it. He has rainbow eyes and brown hair.
I've always thought your rainbow eyes were pretty cool.
You know what? It's specially made.
Yeah.
His job is to play basketball and football. So I'm a 2-sport star.
I would love to see that. Mainly the basketball.
His favorite food is pork tenderloin. Hey, apropos of nothing, guess what we had for dinner last night?
Pork tenderloin.
Pork tenderloin. So maybe on the mind.
Yeah.
Maybe on the mind.
He goes, I recognize some of these words.
He loves to eat bananas, raisins, and cheese. Now here's the thing. First of all, true. I do like to eat those things. But also, I can tell you what Hank was doing while he was filling this out.
Eating bananas, raisins, and cheese.
Because we have the little little trail mix things that have like cheese and little protein packed things.
Yeah.
I know what he was doing. I can see it in my mind right now.
I was surprised by the raisins. Not that I didn't know if you liked raisins or not,
fine.
but that's not something I would typically pull out of the top of my head.
No, he was very clearly eating a snack while he was doing this. He is really good at eating a lot of things. Look,
dude,
kid, when you're right, you're right. When you're right, you're right. I am good at eating a lot of things.
I hope someone says that about me one day. Like, I hope my kids hear Mom and think that.
I love it when we play Go Fish.
Because he wins.
You've played Go Fish with him, have you?
Right? I watched.
You watched.
I watched Robel do it.
Yeah, Robel. He plays Face Up Go Fish.
Yeah.
Which is basically Hank gets to win. If you just can, think about what Face Up Go Fish would look like. That's what we play. But he loves it when we play Go Fish.
We're getting him ready for Face Up Pie Gal Poker since that seems to be the new thing.
My favorite thing about him is funny. He tickles me. Is that apparently I'm funny and I do tickle. I do tickle him a lot.
Yeah. Are you the tickle monster?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes I am, and he and yeah. So he's got me pegged there. So there you go. He signed his initials down there.
I like that because you always sign your emails with GT, so he's got it figured out.
HT, age 3. He's 3.5, and his brother, as he will tell you, is 0.5. So there you go. If you want to know a little bit more about me, there you go. There's a little profile.
There you go.
A little bio on me.
We can get you bananas, raisins, and cheese for your birthday.
With my rainbow eyes.
With your rainbow eyes.
That's right. Anyway,
there they are, in the flesh.
That was my Father's Day. All right, hit the theme expo. Pickle! Hit the arrow sign. Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show online. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football magazine, TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live, TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all of the places, or you listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I'm sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She's back. She's the Duchess of the Dorks. Our executive producer is Ashley Pickle.
I'm back. Apparently from the dead.
What's up, Schlee?
Hi.
Did you miss us?
No.
Okay.
I miss Mallory.
All right. Sitting right here. Today is Monday, June 20th, 2022. 157 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to John Goodman. John Goodman, of course, is the star of The Righteous Gemstones. America's most beloved.
I need to sit down and do that.
You gotta do it.
I know. I need to pull off the Band-Aid and do it.
It's episode 1408. On today's show, folks, we've got headlines from across the state, including, I'll tell you what we're doing this weekend.
Yeah.
And some more realignment news. Yeah, we'll get into
that.
That's
what we're doing.
And then back half of the show, we're going to continue to unveil our preseason rankings in the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Today, it's going to be 1A Division 1. 6-man football, rounding out 6-man football. We did 1A Division 2 on Friday. We'll do 1A Division 1 today. So stick around to find out the top 10 in the 6-man rankings of Division 1 coming up here at the back half of the program. Before we get to that, do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was Gus Garza, Nick Morton, Aaron Arbuckle, and Miss Terry Adams. Welcome in, fellas and lady fellas.
Welcome in, everybody. We appreciate you. just not working and doing this instead. Now I presume you can multitask. You're a smart person because you're watching the show. But let's be real. You're paying more attention to this than
it's the rainbow eyes, man. It pulls people
rainbow
in.
Eyes. Listen.
If you got it, you got it.
Rainbow eyes.
It do be like that.
It do be like that. All right, Ashley. Let's get into some headlines.
That was weird. I don't like when you call me Ashley because it doesn't. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. It's like when I call you Greg.
Calling you by your Christian name. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Let's get into some headlines from across the state of Texas. We're going to start with something that happened last week. It is the latest shoe to drop in the realignment saga. The Texas with regards to college football in the state of Texas. So you may remember, and I believe last Monday when I was out, you did the story about how Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF plus BYU were going to join the Big 12 starting in 2023. We knew that they were going to join the Big 12, but at that point, I believe they said it was going to be 2025.
Yes.
When the kind of grant of rights had expired for a lot of these things. So, as a result, Cincinnati leaving the American, Houston leaving the American, UCF leaving the American, BYU independent, they can kind of do whatever they want, right? Yeah. They're all going to join the Big 12 starting next season, starting in 2023.
Yeah, July 1st.
Yeah. So July 1st, they'll be official members. They'll play their first football game in August of 2023, about a year from now, okay? So that left the American in a bit of a lurch. So it was announced last week also that AAC, American Athletic Commissioner Mike Oresco, said, you know what? Y'all can move up your timeline. We can move up our timeline too. So as a result, they are going to add 6 new members starting next summer, July 1st. It'll be Charlotte, Florida Atlantic, and UAB. Plus, the 3 teams we care about, North Texas, Rice, and UTSA will officially leave Conference USA and join the American Athletic Conference. They had already been approved last October when realignment came through that they were going to be joining the American, but it will start. They will play in the American starting next year. So there's a few more things that are kind of going to come about. There are Conference USA is adding teams, including teams from the WAC. Is Sam Houston going to move up their timeline, et cetera? That's a bit tougher. So you're seeing this kind of trickle down effect. It started with the American Athletics saying, or the teams in the AAC that said we're moving to the Big 12, and then you're having Conference USA move to the AAC.
Are those Conference USA teams paying? Is there?
That has not been. I have not seen that, but I know that generally speaking, there would have to be some sort of buyout in order to get there. Really, what we're all kind of waiting to hear is the movement at the top, and the movement at the top is Texas and Oklahoma. Texas and Oklahoma kind of started this whole thing whenever they announced that they were exploring and then eventually getting accepted to join the SEC. That is supposed to come down in 2025. That buyout is significantly more than like leaving Conference USA to go to the American Athletic Conference, and so time will tell. Basically, you got to think of it like this. Texas and Oklahoma would pay to get out of the Big 12. To get out of the Big 12. Big 12 would take that money to pay for Houston, Cincinnati, and UCF to get out of the American Athletic. American Athletic would then use that money to get those teams out of Conference USA, et cetera.
Which is exactly why I was asking if there was going to be charges, because it's kind of like, okay, well, that all depends a whole lot on what those 2 at the top do. It's
a trickle-down effect, right? It's a trickle-down effect with all of those things. So then there was it was announced last Friday that the American had come to terms with Cincinnati, Houston, and UCF about their departure. So they were paying. One would have to imagine that Conference USA they're going to do something similarly, but I have not seen word on that. But anyway, there will be a lot of movement in 2023 for college football. That is now, I believe, that's at least 4 teams that are going to have new conferences.
Yep, and we talked about it. It is really good that. That's a weird spot for us because technically we will have sent the magazine to press before that happens, but the fact that we know it's happening, we can kind of prepare for it.
Thank God.
It is very good that they told us now instead of July 1st going, hey, by the way, this is happening on August 1, because that would be a nightmare.
Yes. Elsewhere in college football, the NCAA is coming out. In a news release, they have said that they want to, the Transformation Committee, as they call it, they want to create transfer portal windows. We've talked about this a little bit. But right now, the only rule with the transfer portal is if you want to transfer for the 2022-2023 school year, you have to be in the portal and let your team know by May 1.
Yes.
That's the only. You could do it on June 1st, the day after, or the month after. You could do it on May 1st. You could do it whenever, but that's the only thing, is that in order to do it, the deadline is May 1st. That's when the cutoff is. That has obviously thrown a wrench in a lot of rosters.
Yep.
In the sense that we've been talking about transfers pretty much every single month. Even during the season, we've been talking about players going in the transfer portal, et cetera, et cetera. This is now going to, I think what they're talking about is find a way to control it a little bit so that football programs and basketball programs, I shouldn't say, but for our purposes, football programs have a little bit more stability in their rosters.
I don't think it has to do much with the athletes actually going to transfer. I think it's more of a program setting as a whole. Yes.
And so we'll see where this goes. The proposed transfer recommendations are, quote, intended to stabilize the transfer environment while adding additional accountability for schools that receive student transfers. So we'll see how that all works out. But the NCAA wants to put some more restrictions on transfer portals, on the transfer portal. Okay, so next week. Not next week. Oh my gosh, 3 days from now.
Yeah, I was like, we gotta start packing tomorrow.
I know you complain all the time about how cold the studio is. I've got great news for you.
Yeah,
you don't have to worry about that.
Sweating.
Starting Wednesday, we will be down in College Station for the state 7-on-7 tournament. The field is set and the pools are set.
Yes.
We've got them up on TexasFootball.com. We'll flash them up here. You can see this. This is Division 1. Division 1 is comprised of 6A and 5A teams, plus I believe the largest private school teams are in here as well. Although I don't believe, was there one? I want to say I saw one, maybe not. But there are you have those. Bel Air Episcopal and Pool G.
There it is.
They are these are the pools. If you are unfamiliar with how 7-on-7 works, the way that 7-on-7 works is that we have these 64 teams divided into 16 pools, and it's a lot like for Division 1, it's a lot like the World Cup.
Yep.
The World Cup in the sense that you play a round robin. So if you look at Pool A, Cy Falls, Fort Worth Brewer, Longview, and Lubbock Coronado. Cy Falls will play all three of those teams, Brewer, Longview, and Lubbock Coronado. The top two teams advance out of that bracket into the championship bracket. There's also a consolation bracket for the other teams. But you have those teams that will play one another, at which point they will be seeded into a tournament, which will be a single elimination tournament starting on. So for Division 1, they start Friday afternoon, and it'll go until Saturday afternoon.
And then like Pool A will play the winner of Pool B, etc.
So this is who teams are going to. This is who you're going to
that
have
Pool
to play.
E is crazy.
Pool E is pretty tough.
DeSoto, Eastlake, Hightower, and Lake Travis. That's
pretty tough. I think that might be
we're gonna
record Tep and Step here in at a little later today with our full preview. But I would look at Pool E as perhaps the pool of doom. Then we'll go to Division 2 and Division 3. Of course, you can find these pools up on TexasFootball.com/7-on-7. Division 3 is 3A Division 2 and below. Division 2 is 4A and 3A Division 1. And so those are the teams. And this is a little bit different in the sense that regardless, the pool, everyone makes the same tournament. Regardless of if you go 0-3 in your pool play, you'll still be seeded into the tournament since there's only 32 teams, at which point it's a single elimination tournament. But there you go. That's who's playing who. We'll have a complete breakdown on Tep and Step, our premium high school football podcast, which we are recording a little bit later today. It'll be in your feed in a bit.
Also, real fast on that note, if you are not going down to College Station, you can watch some of the games on TexanLive.com for free.
Wow.
And let me be very, very clear about this. We are not broadcasting every single game. I saw some people tweeting tweets going, hey, tune in and watch. We will be on field 7 and 8. If you're down there, it's the 2 turf fields, so you can go say hi to the guys there. But we will have games throughout all 3 days.
4 games going on.
And the championship games.
Yeah, and the championship games. We'll have 4 games going on simultaneously on pools during pool play.
So your team might not end up on there, but tune in, watch. It's free.
Check it out. It'll be fun. TexasLive.com. I believe it's brought to you by our friends at
the Army National Guard.
Texas Army National Guard. Thanks, Texas Army National Guard for sponsoring the broadcast.
We'll also have highlights and all of our stuff on social media as well. So make sure to stay tuned for all of that.
Yes. A small college note brought forward by our friend Corey Hogue, our small college contributor. or small college, I'm sorry. The WAC, the Western Athletic Conference. Of course, they're adding 2 teams this year. They're adding Dixie State, which is actually Utah Tech now. Utah Tech, as well as Tarleton. They're adding them. And the WAC Board of Directors approved the participation of those transitioning schools in all conference championships. What's that mean? Well, typically, whenever teams are transitioning into a new conference, you are ineligible for the conference championship. That will not be the case for Tarleton. Tarleton will be able to win the WAC in 2022 if they win the WAC. And so, certainly big news for them. That means that they're going to be able to, play for something. They're not just kind of playing for funsies. So that's good news, I would say, for Tarleton, that they get to go out there and play for it all.
Very cool.
Theoretically. All right. Couple other things. This is normally we get to these things in This Week in Recruiting, but this is an out-of-state commitment, and it's just noteworthy, I think. Did you see the news that Texas Texas has picked up a commitment from tight end Will Randall? Will Randall is the tight end from Isidore Newman High School in Louisiana, and big 3-star prospect, 3-star tight end. Yeah. And perhaps you're thinking,
why
Tepper,
does this matter? I don't know these words.
That's neat, but why would you bring this up? That is because Will Randall is the teammate and apparently quite close friend of Arch Manning. Arch Manning, the number 1 quarterback in the class of 2023. Texas is hot after them. So that is noteworthy. I don't know what that means, but I know that it can't be bad for Texas.
Oh, yeah.
That Arch Manning's one of his top targets just committed to Texas. So Will Randall, the tight end from Isidore Newman, is the new commitment for Texas.
That blew up Twitter on Saturday,
I don't
Friday,
think
Saturday?
there's any hiding what that's about.
No, absolutely not.
I haven't watched his tape. I'm sure it's pretty good. He's a 3-star he's a 34th ranked tight end in the 2023 class.
But the attention that was good, getting was not because of him. Kid, but
it's not because Will Randall is
the superstar tight end. He's a good tight end, but
there's thoughts that maybe they're a package deal. I want you to direct you to TexasFootball.com for a couple different things. We've got the main feature up for subscribers. Mike Craven's incredible feature on Joey McGuire, Jeff Traylor, and what they mean for high school football as it relates to college football. It's up on TexasFootball.com for subscribers. Go read it. And then also a reminder that tomorrow,
Big doings.
Republic of Football going live. Republic of Football is going to be live on wherever you're watching this right now. You'll be able to watch Republic of Football tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Tomorrow, so stay tuned, stay by the channel tomorrow at 2 o'clock so that you can watch our friends Ishmael Johnson, Mike Craven, and Mallory Hartley do their thing on Republic of Football live at 2 o'clock tomorrow.
And that show will continue to be Wednesdays at 2 o'clock from here on out. But since we're leaving for 7 on 7 on Wednesday, they're going to go ahead and do it on Tuesday. So I think it's about an hour-long special, and you can get there's a chance to win a ROF shirt, too.
Ooh,
so hang out with them.
One last thing, Pickle, in headlines. Did you hear what's happened let's go to the Sooner Athletic Conference.
You hear about this, Kev?
Did you hear about this? The Sooner Athletic Conference, which, of course, is home to a number of our programs, including Texas Wesleyan.
Yes.
Texas Wesleyan, this is according to our friend, or reported by our friend Corey Hogue. Texas Wesleyan is scheduled to open its 2022 campaign at home against Arkansas State University campus Querétaro. Now, perhaps you're wondering, who's that? Querétaro is probably how it's pronounced. ASUCQ is located in Querétaro, Mexico. And is the first university in Mexico to offer the United States academic model of education.
How cool is
Texas Wesleyan is going to host them in what the game is being billed as the Global Classico.
Oh, I love it.
7 o'clock, August 27th, Texas Wesleyan and ASUCQ.
Is that a Friday night? Isn't that the first Friday night of the season?
27th? Let's see. No, it's Saturday. Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
Saturday night, get over to Fort Worth.
How about that?
Texas Wesleyan.
That's really cool.
Yeah, they're going to be playing. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Because we've had high school teams play teams from Mexico, but not college.
So there you go. It's a college football, an actual college football game involving a team from Mexico coming up here.
How cool is that?
The Global Classico, Texas Wesleyan and Arkansas State University campus Querétaro.
Very cool.
We're going to go with that.
Sounds right.
We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. TexasFootball.com/subscribe to become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider. Go there.
You can go there on the QR code.
Right. And scan that QR code. Become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber, TexasFootball.com/subscribe. If you missed Father's Day, if you screwed that up, you can make it up to him. Say, here's what I'll do. Here's what I'll say. If you want to blame that on me and say, you know what, I submitted the order and they didn't send me the email in time.
Yeah.
I'll fall on that one day only.
One day only. This is your day.
You can do it today. If you subscribe today and give it to your dad and say, oh man, Tepper, like you got to blame him. Tepper's the one who screwed up the order. I will fall on that sword today only.
On Twitter.
TexasFootball.com/subscribe. To become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber, to get that magazine mailed to you directly.
A lot of people have been asking if they've been mailed to subscribers yet.
They're being mailed like literally starting yesterday and today.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's going on. So TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Let me also tell you about our friends at Athletes to Athletes. AthletesToAthletes.com/DC is where you can find that, and where I can find my sponsor, Reed. Playing football at the college level is a dream shared by many high school athletes in the state of Texas, but there's more that goes into making that dream a reality than just on-field performance. Academics, culture, interests, and location are just some of the areas that need significant consideration. What if I told you that there was a college counseling service that could help you navigate the process from start to finish, developed specifically for student athletes? I bet you'd be super into that.
Oh, yeah.
Headquartered right here in Texas, Athletes to Athletes is just what you need. As the best college counseling service available to student athletes, this local business is focused solely on helping student athletes find the right college programs for their needs both on and off the field. The program encompasses all of the expertise and services of a traditional college counselor with added programs, tools, and resources that are unique to the student athlete experience. Do me a favor, go to TexasFootball.com or rather AthletesToAthletes.com/DC today to schedule your free info session and see how they can help you pursue the best college program for you. That's AthletesToAthletes.com/DC today. Or scan that QR code. Big QR code show all of a sudden.
Yeah, we like it.
So go check that out. AthletesToAthletes.com/DC. All right, Pickle. It is time to continue rolling out the preseason Texas high school football rankings in the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Of course, we have expanded rankings of every classification in the print copy, the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, which you can get at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. As you may know, we are the official rankings provider of the Associated Press. So these are the Texas high school football rankings of record. Yeah, official. Real. And so, time to get into 1A Division I. The largest six-man classification, 1A Division I, and last year you may remember it was Westbrook defeating May in a real thriller there to win.
It was a good one.
To win the state championship. How does 1A Division I shake out this year? Let's find out together. Starting with number 10. The Hornets of Erie County are the number 10 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Last year, this was a team that's better than I think their record indicated at 8-3 last year, but they ran into May in the first round of the playoffs. But I'll tell you that I think this Erie County team is ready to make some noise. 10 starters are back from last year's team, and they had a 9-0 JV team that I think is going to help buoy them even further. I think that realignment did them a little bit of a favor as well. I think they've got an opportunity to make a run there in Region 4. Keep an eye on Erie County. They are the number 10 team in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Number 9, program that really needs no introduction in the six-man ranks. Turkey Valley, the Patriots, are number 9 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. A regional finalist from a year ago. This is the team that is going to have, I think, is going to benefit from having stability in the program. They've got a lot of talent. The question is going to be that they've got some pieces to replace. They bring back a grand total of 9 starters from last year's team, a team that looks hungry to make a run there in Region 1. I also think Region 1 is a little bit more manageable this year. They're not the top-ranked team in Region 1, but certainly good enough to make a run. Turkey Valley, the Patriots, number 9 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Number 8, Another traditional power, the Borden County Coyotes are the number 8 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. This is an experienced bunch. 9 starters back from last year's team. Believe it or not, they only lose 2 lettermen from last year's ball club that went all that even though they went 6-6, I think really got better as the season went on, making all the way to the regional semifinals. This is a Borden County team that I think is going to have an opportunity to make some noise. Now, they're in a pretty tough district, and they're in District 7. They're going to have to deal with 2 other teams that are ranked here. As I may spoil our own rankings coming up here, but they're a team certainly to keep an eye on. The Coyotes of Borden County start the year at number 8 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. To number 7 we go. The aforementioned top-ranked team in Region 1, the Happy Cowboys, the number 7 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. State semifinalists from a year ago, won the region, and looks like they could be even better this year. Another experienced bunch. They have an opportunity to make a real playoff push, thanks in large part to what I think is going to be an outstanding defense that takes a step up. Now, there's some depth concerns for this team, but this is a 10-win team from a year ago, a state semifinalist from a year ago, and on that short list of contenders, Happy starts the year as the favorite in Region 1 and the number 7 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. To number 6, I mentioned that Borden County is in a tough district. One of those reasons is because they are in a district with Rankin. Rankin, the Red Devils, the number 6 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. A regional semifinals from a year ago that ran into eventual state champion in Westbrook. A team that also super experienced, very young last year, bringing back 9 starters this time around. A lot of size on this team, which I think is going to do them a great service. I think Rankin's got an opportunity to make some noise. They've got a number of actually some 3-year starters that I think are going to be able to be fantastic. But they do have to replace a 3,000-yard rusher, which is going to be difficult to do. Rankin's going to be on that short list of contenders. Got to go through a very difficult district there in District 7, 1A Division 1. They start the year number 6 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Into the top 5, where we'll find yet another team from District 7, 1A Division 1. The Garden City Bearcats, the number 5 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. 10 starters back from last year's team that I think got better as the season went on and are hungry to prove that last year was a bit of a out of the ordinary for them. An experienced bunch that brings back all but one on both sides of the ball. This is a team that is absolutely loaded with experience. I think took their lumps last year, but bringing back 20 lettermen from last year's ball club I think is going to pay a lot of dividends for them. Keep an eye on Garden City. They start the year number 5 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Number 4. Bounce over to Region 4 to find the Jonesboro Eagles as the number 4 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Last year, a team that I think had a solid run for Eddie Gallegos' squad, but they look like they could be even better. They are really experienced at some key positions, which I think is going to be important for them, bringing back half their starters from last year's team. And look, this is a team that expects to go out there and win every single game. Eddie Gallegos has built one of the best cultures in 6-man football year in and year out. This is a program that I believe has had 10-win seasons in 4 of the last 5 years. They are no stranger to the big stage. They could be in for a big push. Jonesboro, the number 4 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. If they're going to win their region, they're going to have to win their district. And if they're going to win their district, they got to get through their own district bunkmate in May, the number 3 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. The state runner-up from a year ago does have some holes to fill. This is a team that I think is going to only brings back 2 starters from on each side of the ball. They lose a number of those star runners that were so important to that run to a state championship game. But make no mistake, Craig Steele has this bunch rolling that I think that what you've seen the past couple of years is the new normal for them. I mean, this is a team that has won 37 games in the last 3 seasons. This is a program that needs no introduction at this point. They're the favorites there in Region 4 to start the year. Kind of co-favorites, I would say, with number 4 Jonesboro, their district bunkmate. But May gets the nod here. They're the number 3 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. That's the favorite in Region 3. How about the favorite in Region 4, rather? How about the favorite in Region 3? The Abbott Panthers, the number 2 team in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Coach Terry Crawford's bunch was a state semifinalist from a year ago and took May to the wire before falling just short. But this team has plenty of experience, plenty of work ethic. This is a team that I think that they've got an opportunity to make some noise if they can get a couple of playmakers from that sophomore class to really step up. This might be Abbott's best team since they won a state championship back in 2015. They've got an opportunity to be that good with 20 lettermen coming back from last year's state semifinalist team. It's a program that at this point is one of the most consistent in the state, especially the past couple of years, winning 24 games in the past 2 seasons. Abbott starts the year number 2 in Dave Campbell's Texas football. Which means there's only one left. The number 1 team, the reigning state champion, Westbrook Wildcats, start the year number 1 in Dave Campbell's Texas football this year. Believe it or not, the state champions bring back all but one starter on each side of the ball. This is a program that's got plenty of team speed and plenty of experience. There are some good seniors that they lost, but they are absolutely loaded there, and the favorites there to come out of Region 2. This is a program that I think is going to have a lot of balance. I think that the defense could take a real step forward this year, which is saying something considering how good they were last year. Keep an eye on Westbrook. The Wildcats are our pick to go back-to-back in 1A Division 1. We think they may actually be on the cusp of a potential dynasty in 1A Division 1. They start the year number 1 in Dave Campbell's Texas Football. So there you go, the top 10 in the preseason rankings according to Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Number 10, Erie Young County. Number 9, Turkey Valley. Number 8, Borden County. Number 7, Happy. Number 6, Rankin. Number 5, Garden City. Number 4, Jonesboro. Number 3, May. Number 2, Abbott. And the number 1 team in 1A Division 1 to start the year, the Wildcats of Westbrook. Of course, you can find expanded rankings for all Texas high school football classifications in the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. You can secure your copy today by going to texasfootball.com/subscribe. There you go. 1A Division 1.
Woohoo.
Done with 6, man. This was, so when we did, you weren't here for Friday's show, but when we rolled out the 1A Division 2 rankings, I thought those were very interesting, and I would say bold in the sense that we got Benjamin at the number 1 team, Strawn, the
having to move Strawn down after
number 5, you have to transfer
Rigdon.
Grayson Rigdon, all those things. I think this is a lot more. This feels like safe as no rankings are safe.
Right.
I mean, we have teams. O'Donnell could win the state championship. We'd look really
Absolutely.
dumb, right? But this is, I would say, a lot more conventional. I think this is very blue bloody.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it feels to me like, especially, you get to that top 4, especially, maybe you can extend that out a little bit to the top 5, but if you want to take the top half of this, it feels like teams that it would be an unbelievable shock if those were not the teams left late in December.
So right now, based on the de facto what we're saying would be the semifinals would be Happy against Westbrook and then Abbott against May.
And
which is very chalky.
Yes.
Very chalky in a lot of ways. And so there you go. 1A Division 1 is the rankings. Of course, we have expanded rankings. I believe we have top 25 for each of the classifications. If you go to texasfootball.com/subscribe, get the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football mailed directly to you. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts?
We'll just kind of re-go through this programming note. We will be having a show on Wednesday, but then no show Thursday and Friday.
We also have a show tomorrow.
Yes. We have a show tomorrow and Wednesday. No show Thursday and Friday, but you can catch a bonus episode. A reminder again, tomorrow, 2 o'clock, Republic of Football is taking their talents to on camera. So wherever you're watching now, that's where you can watch tomorrow for Republic of Football. But go show those guys some support.
It'll be a lot of fun. So make sure you tune in tomorrow to our show, and then just stick around for we're happy to be their lead-in.
Yeah, exactly. We're the pre-show before the awesome show, the fun show. I'll work on that.
Yeah, no, let's workshop.
I'll have something for tomorrow.
It's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please come get your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you tomorrow on Texas Football Today.